You're
Uh-oh.
live.
I'm live?
You're live.
Hi, everybody. I got a little bit of technical difficulty here. Sorry about that if it did stop and start. Yeah, RivkaLeah here. And as you can see, I have somebody with me because I've been having a little bit of technical difficulties the past couple weeks and seeing comments. So I have my producer here, Marissa. Hi, Marissa.
Hello to everyone.
Thank you for being here.
Anything to support you.
I appreciate all the help I can get. So I'm going to tell everyone, like I do every week, I am not a doctor or a therapist, counselor. I am just me. And everything that I do talk about are things that I have gone through or kind of experiences that I have used to work through my journey, or these are things that my friends, close friends have gone through. Hi, everybody. I actually am seeing a couple comments coming in now.
I got you.
Thank you. And so I have their permission to talk about them. And this week, I wanted to talk about mindset and how very important it is to every area of our lives. I talked a little bit about this the other night with another group that I was speaking to, and a group of entrepreneurs. And quite honestly, being a survivor and then jumping into entrepreneurship feels like such a logical jump for me personally, because I went through a whole journey to heal myself and reframe everything and get that mindset correctly. And these are all the steps that people use being an entrepreneur and going forward and building a business. So tonight is about mindset. I might throw a couple things in there about entrepreneurship, but ultimately we are talking about a survivor and going through your journey. So first, I wanted to kind of define what a mindset is. I know it seems somewhat self-explanatory, but I'm going to go with an actual definition so that people don't think I'm just, making stuff up. So a mindset is a set of attitudes, beliefs, and perspectives that shape your personal individual thoughts and actions. And your mindset kind of develops over time. So it depends on the type of, situations that you're in. Obviously, change your mindset. There are two main mindsets that I am going to be talking about are the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. And this is where I'll probably throw in a little bit about the survivor and about the entrepreneur, and just basic everyday life. So a fixed mindset is a belief that your abilities and talents are unchangeable. That's just all it is. It's a fear of rejection, and you avoid challenges and you have limited resilience. So you're fixed, you're stationary. It's kind of like staying in that comfort zone and not really jumping out of it. So that's something that we would like to change if we are on our path to healing and our growth journey in both our everyday life and if we're an entrepreneur. So the second mindset is the growth mindset, obviously, because we want that on our journey forward. That's the belief in the ability to learn and improve through all of your effort, through all your perseverance. Look at how far you've come from everything you've gone through and where you are now. So you've had huge perseverance. So that is massive mindset growth. It's embracing challenges and looking at any failure that you might have as a learning opportunity and not getting stuck in that failure. And you also are looking for feedback to see what you need to do to continue on your personal growth path. Okay. So by looking at where we were with a fixed mindset and how we got stuck and how this could have played into, being in bad situations, being around dark personality traits, because that was your comfort level, it wasn't a great comfort level, but that was what you knew. So when you made that one change to get away from those dark personalities, that was the beginning of your growth mindset, and you've taken that jump into that. So when you do change your mindset, and I'm assuming a lot of people have noticed this in themselves, that you start to build more resilience. Like I said, you were in an unchangeable, limited resilience mode. And now that you're growing, your resilience has come up. You're able to persevere even more. And if any adversity comes at you now, you have so many more tools. And we will talk about tools later on as well. So let's see. Let me look down. I have a couple notes for you guys I wanted to talk about. So if I were, I did this on Wednesday night, like I said, in an entrepreneurial group, embracing the growth mindset in that regard. That's where you have your love of learning, because you've come through something dark, and now everything is opened up, and you grasp onto that, and you just love learning, and you start to develop more self-awareness because of everything that you've come through, and your attitude becomes more optimistic and positive. So let's see here. Has anyone got any questions? If you do, Marissa is going to tell me. So I don't want you to think I'm ignoring you.
All I've got right now is actually a slight adjustment as a request.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I guess at the top, and I apologize because I was looking at everything. I think you've been starting off the lives by saying hello, ladies. And there's been a complaints here.
Okay.
Just so you know that, so I addressed it in the comments that it's ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
So I will give you names later.
Okay. I do see something about an old goat. I would not be saying that. I'm not going to say hi, old goat.
No, but that would be the one that said, hey, there's the gentleman supporting this. We're all here. So I'm just letting it be official.
Thank you. I apologize, gentlemen. Thank you for being here.
And we did have a couple of comments about that. People have gone through the experiences and they feel so much stronger themselves, and that resilience results in hard work, and the harder you work, the luckier you get. And I think that is a wonderful way to look at it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I had a quote, and I may mess it up saying it. Luck comes from the work you put in and where you are at the right time. Something like that. I'll have to look it up. Actually, it's a magnet on my refrigerator. So, okay. So again, to go back to a fixed mindset, those are more of your limiting beliefs. And in order to move to the growth mindset, we're going to focus more on the self-awareness and the transformation. And we've talked about that every single week, all the self-care, and how different love languages even play into this, and how by recognizing what yours are and how you give love to people and how you receive love from people, that changes your mindset as well. So once you come out of a dark situation and you're with people now that embrace you for who you are, that also adds to and impacts your mindset and lets it open up and flourish some more. You have improved communication, and your conflict resolution skills are just amazing because you, again, have come through something. And we've talked about violence and communication. So now you have those skills to recognize what those things are, what that communication is, and what the conflict is that may have perpetuated that violence and communication. And by altering your mindset into more of a gratitude, positive mindset, you are able to work with this conflict in a much more healthy manner. You also have more of a increased empathy and understanding. And again, those things help with conflict resolution, right? Because the more empathetic you are, you don't have to worry about, you know, someone being, let me rephrase that. Being empathetic, you are more understanding. Not that you don't have to worry about, you are more understanding to what someone is saying to you, even if they are saying it to you in the violence and communication way, even in an aggressive way. You have the empathy and the understanding and compassion now because you've changed your mindset. So you can recognize that and you can talk to them to bring the conflict situation down. And it also, I know I personally have noticed this, when you change your mindset, one, you start to feel better. Two, it changes your vibration, right? It changes how you feel and the people that are around you. You start attracting people to you who are of a similar mindset, who vibrate at the same as you. So you have much deeper communication with them, much easier communication with them, and you'll find that there won't be as many instances of the violence and communication and the conflict that have been in the past. So those are a couple of the things that you kind of start to notice. You may also notice that your stress levels start coming down and you're better able to manage your stress. You know, when you have a fixed mindset and something stresses you, you know, that stress and fear kind of go together, right? And you kind of just like pull back and you stay in that negativity. But now that we've learned how to look more into ourselves and cultivate that positive mindset, our stress levels start to come down a little bit. And I do have, I don't know, do we have any questions?
No, but one somebody was able to help you out with a quote. Luck is
Oh,
is what happens when preparation meets opportunity.
thank you. That is exactly right. I knew I was going to mess it up. But thank you. That is
I wasn't
exactly
any
right.
help either. I got about as far as you, so thank you.
I was going to be like, I'll tell you next week after I go look at the refrigerator.
Well, we could do a little distraction if you want to run and check. That's the best I've got.
So, okay. So now, you know, I'm not going to talk too much more about a fixed mindset because that's what we want to get away from. I think we all know when we are in our fixed mindset, when we're stuck. So our whole goal is to not be stuck any longer and to move forward. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what can we do to start developing that mindset. And you may notice that a lot of the things that I talk about are things that I talk about every single week. And my hope is that you'll start to realize how important and how impactful these things are and how they go through every area of your life. It's not just, I can do these things right now and I'm going to change my mindset, or I'm going to do these things right now and reduce my stress. If you start implementing these things little bit, you'll start to notice how it impacts every area of your life and how you really start to change and blossom. And it, after a while, you'll be like, it's second nature to you, right? So some of the things, again, practicing gratitude. You know, every single morning I wake up and the very first thing I say to myself is, it's a good day for a good day. And then I'll go on with anything else that, you know, I may be grateful for or that pops into my mind. But every single morning I say that. And it works. You know, you then, you know, you get up and you get your shower and your breakfast and whatever, and you've already gotten out of bed with a much lighter attitude. Even even if you're still a little tired, by saying it's a good day for a good day, you can still be a little tired, but you physically feel lighter. You don't have that whole heaviness continuing weighing you down. And you may notice, I know for myself, even if I'm still a little tired and I see that, I kind of perk up a little bit because I've been doing this long enough now that it's ingrained into my physical body, right? Into my cells. So when I say that, my cells are like, "Oh, hey, you know what? Yes, that's what we have to do. We are happy. We are glad that we're here and it's going to be a great day." So we kind of go through with that. Also, to kind of cultivate your mindset a little bit more. And we talked about this too, reframing your challenges. Um, if something bad happens to you and you're going to look at that and you're going to say, okay, now why did that happen? What can I take out of that? What lesson was there? I'll give you an example of how I reframed something that happened to me last night. I was driving home from an appointment and I was getting onto our expressway and I needed to change 2 lanes. The merge lane was ending. I looked in my mirror. There was a car about 3 car lengths behind me. I had my directional on. I needed to get over 2 lanes. He's 3 car lengths behind me. I have plenty of room to get over. My merge lane is ending. I merge over, I look, the next lane that I need to be in, completely empty. I'm directional is still on, I get into the next lane. The individual that was 3 car lengths behind me then speeds up, blows his horn, and makes an obscene gesture towards me, and then proceeds to get off at the next exit, blowing his horn at me the entire time. Instead of me getting upset, I looked at the situation like, first of all, I didn't do anything. I had plenty of room. I did not cut him off. I looked at it as he was having a bad day. Something, and you never know what's going on in someone else's life. Something was obviously going on with him, and he needed an avenue to release that, right? And he took that opportunity to make an obscene gesture towards me. I could have in the past, in a fixed mindset, gotten very upset over that. And that would have put me into an upset mood, right? But I chose to kind of just shake my head a little bit, not understanding why it happened, but then said, you know what? It happened because he may be having something going on that I don't know about. And if that's how he needed to work through that situation for himself at that moment, then that's what he needed to do. So I just reframed that whole situation instead of getting upset about it. It really wasn't worth it. Another kind of step to change that mindset is surround yourself with more positivity. And again, as you start to change your mindset, you'll notice that the people around you are more positive. So that becomes pretty easy to do because the people you're surrounding yourself with are already up there in that positive happiness. So you'll match them. So that becomes much easier to do. Another thing that I like to do, and again, all of these things, remember, these are all things that we've talked about in the past however many weeks that we've been talking. Positive self-talk and affirmations. Another thing that I personally do, I have markers that you can write on your mirror that are washable. So you can change the affirmations anytime you like. So in my bathroom, I have a little saying, I've written it on there, and I repeat those every morning. I get out of the shower and I'm drying my hair and I'm looking at the affirmations and I repeat them over and over and over. And then I'm like, okay, you know what? That one's great and I love it, but let's change it up a little bit. Wipe it all off, write something else on there. It's a great tool. You can also put little sticky notes or put something, a little card in your wallet with affirmations or whatever. I try personally to do some sort of positive affirmation at least 3 times a day, in the morning, at lunchtime, or when I have a break, and at night. So with that, I also do some sort of a little meditation if I can. If I can't, then I just leave it at the positive affirmations, right? But that plays into everything and becoming a habit at this point because you do it every single day, 3 times a day. Let's see. Oh, I know. One of the other things that we're doing, and we're actually doing this right now, is practicing mindfulness. We're coming every Friday night at the same time, coming together into the collective, and we're being mindful of what everybody else is doing. We are being respectful of what they're going through, and we're here to support them. And this is why I tell everybody the collective is a safe place for everyone. Come in. If you want to talk to people, comment, make a post. If you have a question or you want some advice, people are there. Just know that we are not doctors or therapists again. So this is going to be advice, personal advice from individuals who have gone through something and are on or have, on their healing journey. So it is a completely safe place. You can come in, ask questions, socialize. You'll meet a lot of wonderful people in there. So go in there, and it helps with your mindfulness because you'll see that other people have come through things, and you can start to come out of your head and into your heart and just be with yourself, right? By doing all of this, again, it improves your communication with people, and you get your supportive network. And again, those are all things that we just talked about. What something else that I've noticed that now, you see me on here every week, and I'm talking and I'm bubbly and I'm happy. But what you don't know is I am an extreme introvert. It is very difficult for me to put myself out there. So, what I have noticed, although I am an introvert, and we will talk about this, I'm actually thinking in the next couple of weeks talking about personality traits, positive personality traits like introvert, extrovert type thing, not the dark personality traits. And I'll go a little bit more into that. But I have noticed, even though I'm an introvert and I don't ever see that changing, I have been an introvert my entire life, I have more self confidence because I have done all of those little steps. I've started every morning with gratitude. I've practiced the mindfulness. I take time each day, 3 times a day, a minimum, to do my affirmations. So that's your confidence really boosts with that. And with that, because your vibration has come up and you're surrounding yourself with much more positive people, that adds to your self-confidence as well, right? So the more positive, happy people around you, the more positive and happy you are. And you suddenly are like, oh, you know what? It is a really great day and I feel really good today. My headaches are gone. The stress that I had, the tight shoulders, that's all gone. I'm really feeling better. Now, don't get me wrong. This is not to say that you're not going to have a bad day. We're human. We have bad days. But you're now building the skills to be able to manage those bad days a little bit better. Your stress is coming down, your productivity is going up, you're seeing all of these positives. Like I said, you emotionally, you feel a little more uplifted. You also, is something some people may correlate it and some people may not necessarily realize it right away. You're going to start sleeping better because with a more mindful, positive mindset, you let go of that stress easier, or you've been able to reframe it a little bit better. So when you go to bed, you're able to take that deep breath and relax and actually get to sleep. So you might get in more hours of sleep than you had in the past. And again, I keep talking about every single day doing these things. So the consistency is really key. Having that in there every single day, you know that you'll start to see those little changes. And again, this goes throughout every area of your life. So as a survivor, you started to make little changes to get out of the situation that you were in. And those were contagious within yourself, right? You kept building on them and building on them and building on them. And that's how your journey kept going. And you may not have realized that it was you changed your mind. You made a conscious choice to move forward. That's your mindset. You've changed that. So that also works. And if you want to be an entrepreneur, and I know I have a lot of survivors in here who are also entrepreneurs. So when you're building your business, you've changed your mind. You've made a conscious choice to walk away from the humdrum, and you are working on something that is going to impact you a long way down the road and for a long time down the road. Not that it's going to take a long time. You said that incorrectly. But that's a positive thing that you're working towards. It's a great goal. Let's see. How about journaling? Didn't we talk about that a few weeks ago as well? Another great tool for self-reflection. And also, if you happen to be having a bad day, I know for me, if I just write it out, write what it is, it's a release. Your body is like, okay, I got it out. It's not in your head. It's not just staying there. You're not just keep going over it and over it and over it. You've put it down. You've gotten rid of it, and then move on. And even at the end, sometimes, like, I'll write out, oh, I like last night, if I was not in a good place and that I was having a bad day as well, I could have come home and been like, oh, this really mean guy made obscene gestures to me, and I wrote it all out. And at the end, I would be like, but that's behind me. I'm done with that, and move forward. It's going to be a good night now, and go on. So you can write down what you want, put it out there, and claim that. You want that positivity, so claim it. How about also, I was thinking about this, and someone had said something to me just recently about mind mapping. And this is not something that I have done a lot of. So I don't know that I'm going to be able to explain it 100%. I'll look more into it, but it is something that works really well with mindset. And that's where you put down your belief, and you would write this out, obviously, so that you can see it. It's a visual thing. Put down your whatever belief you have in the middle, and then you branch it out all over, and you map it out to see where that shows up in your mind. And you'll start to see if it's a positive or if it's a negative. The other thing that I would like to suggest to people is, when you're changing your mindset and you're doing your self-reflection, really look at what these beliefs are and how you came about those beliefs. Are they just beliefs because that's what's always happened, and so you've never challenged it, you've never looked for anything else, you've never seen if there was any other possibility? They may be beliefs that somebody else told you. They may be somebody else's beliefs, and you've just adopted them. So as we go through and we're changing our mindset, and things start popping up that, bring you back down or make you not as happy, question it. Was that my belief? Was that my original belief? How did I come about that? Is that what I want? And you can change it. Change to whatever is going to be more beneficial for you going forward. Let's see. I keep looking down because I want to make sure I'm getting all my notes for you guys. Oh, yeah. Again, meditation. And I've talked to you about that pretty much every week, I think. And I said it earlier, with my affirmations, I do my meditation. And you don't have to, do meditations like, the monks where they sit and they meditate all day long. But, 5 minutes. Science has shown that even 5 minutes twice a day changes your brain waves, brings the stress hormones down in your body, and brings up the feel good hormones. So that then alters your mind into that positive space. So, you know, you don't have to do meditations multiple times during the day, but if you can get in even 5 minutes, you'll start to see even bigger benefits with your mindset changing and all the physical benefits that come along with that. So let's see. Another thing too, I wanted to kind of talk about a little bit of reframing, kind of go a little more in depth with that. Are we getting any other questions? Am I missing anything?
You're not missing anything. It's just all positive reinforcement that this is great. Positivity is contagious. So you are speaking the language everybody needs to hear tonight. It's either that
Awesome.
or I'm scaring off all the comments. I can't figure it out.
I don't think you're scaring off all the comments. This has been a huge help for me because then I didn't have to keep looking over.
And I do want to note though too, because I know you'll get on your roll and then we'll wrap up. So I just want to tell everybody, this is going out not just inside the Facebook group privately, but it is also now live streaming on RivkaLeah's YouTube channel every week as well. So if somebody isn't a part of the group, but they would like to check it out, please send them to YouTube so they can just anonymously check out the group, see if they're comfortable. It's a great way just to kind of see what we're all about within the community.
Exactly. And then they're welcome to come in and join the group and they'll get even more benefit from that. Mm-hmm. So I think that that's fabulous. So thank you. I appreciate that. See, this is why my producer is here. She reminds me of things that I forget. So let me just do a couple little ideas for reframing, because I know I'm going a little long tonight and I don't want to keep you guys because some people might even have a long weekend. So just to put a little bit out there so that people can kind of understand more what reframing is. And again, words have power. And I talked about that a few weeks ago as well. And that'll be a theme that I talk about going forward. So a negative thought, I always fail. Anytime you put I in there or I am, that is just like, it just brings it right to you. So if you're saying I always fail, that's just bringing negativity right at you. And that's just really, that's what our goal is to get away from that. So instead of saying that negatively, you can think of it as I've had some setbacks in the past, right? But I've also had a lot of successes. Do not ever downplay those successes, no matter how small they are. And even if I have a setback and I have a little bit of a failure, I'm going to look for what opportunity and growth, what I can learn from that so that I can kind of go forward. And I do know this is a big one that I have heard from a lot of survivors is I'm not good enough. And where did we get that from? We got that from people, the dark personality traits that were in our lives, and they were telling us this all the time. But we knew that that was not true. But every once in a while, that thought may pop back up. And that's when you reaffirm to yourself, I do have unique strengths and talents. I am constantly improving and I'm growing in my abilities on my healing journey. And again, if you're an entrepreneur, you're growing in your abilities to grow your business. So those are just a couple of things that I have done myself. Those are things that I have said to myself in the past. I don't say them any longer. I have been able to reframe them. So, and from people that I have talked to, those are things that I've heard them say about themselves as well. So those were kind of the couple that I wanted to highlight. So I hope you guys got a lot out of this, and perhaps you can try to implement, if you're not already doing this from all the stuff that I've talked about in the past few weeks, implementing one or two of these things. Start your day with some gratitude or a quick meditation. write out an affirmation on your mirror or little post-it notes or a card in your wallet, and have a little meditation session and just consciously change what is in your mind. Challenge those beliefs if they're negative on where they came from. And I truly believe that you will start to see a change. You will start to see that the negative people in your life will fall away, and the positive people that may not have been in your life will start coming in towards you. I do see this one, Marissa. I think it's difficult for some people to reframe if they've not done it. It is. It's very difficult, but that's part of the healing journey. And that's part of what we're learning to do every single time that you are aware. And granted, you're not always going to be aware of it because this has been so ingrained. It's a subconscious thing at this point. So this is where you need to really start to be conscious of your subconscious thoughts so that you can reframe them, so that you can challenge those negative beliefs. And if you're having difficulty reframing it, you don't know how to reframe it, you're afraid to kind of get out of that negative comfort zone, not that it's comfortable, but the zone that you're used to, Google how to reframe. Put the actual phrase that has popped up into your head into a search engine and ask how to reframe it, and it will come up for you and it'll tell you how to reframe it. So I hope everybody has a fabulous weekend. I went really long today, everybody, so I apologize. I know we have a holiday coming up. If you're here in the United States, I know I have people coming in that are not in the United States, but if you're here in the States, we have a lot of people have a long weekend for the 4th of July. So if you do have that, have a great, wonderful weekend with your family and your friends, and maybe talk about this a little bit with everybody. See how they're doing and if they have any ideas. So again, thank you for being here, everybody. And thank you, Marissa. I'm going to probably have her back with me every week so that I don't have to keep fumbling around with all of this. And again, we are live on 2 different platforms, and maybe we'll go on live on a couple others as well. Also, everybody, I am just putting the final touches on my course, so that will be dropping soon. And we have podcasts out as well. You've probably seen that in the guides in the group and out on YouTube. So take a look at those and let everybody know if you're getting something good out of this. And again, thank you for being here. Have a great weekend, everybody. Cheers.